So with all those things that you said that are real positive about having a political career,
yeah.
you must have also been looking at the nightmare gut check, just mud-slinging that you're going to have to go, or that's going to be thrown at you and all that, and your family getting the microscope on them and watched all the time and no privacy and all that. How did you weigh those things out? And did you think about those things as well?
Absolutely. It's by far the most concerning thing about politics. I mean, if anything drives you out, it's that, you know, and frankly, the experience hasn't been too bad yet. I mean, I get attacked for silly things here and there. I've got one of my opponents, what I would call one of his cronies. There's these corrupt. They call them the slates in Harris County, Harris County is Houston. And these 3 slates are essentially 3 political mailers that go out and they target senior citizens especially, and they make it sound like there's these conservative review type of magazines, you know, these something with authority behind it, but really they're not. Really they're pay to play, and it's just one author, and they pick who they like based on what kind of money they were able to get out of the deal, and then they trash everybody else. So, you know, they put my bio on there. It doesn't say anything about who I actually am. It just says I'm homeless and don't have a job and would like to become. I mean, it's absurd, right? And most people read it and they think this can't be serious. So, and actually, it got me a lot of votes because people would look me up after that. It's like, oh, well, this is who this guy is. Maybe I will vote for him after all. But unfortunately, that's politics, and that's the world we live in. Even though the Harris County Republican Party has publicly denounced these so-called slates because they send out these voter guides, and you know they've denounced them, but people don't always know. People aren't, you know, sometimes a lot of folks still rely on those. So you're battling this kind of corruption. You're battling this establishment. I mean, you know, we always talk about the establishment in politics, and I never really knew what that meant. I think until I saw behind the curtain, and now I truly understand. And it's this class of politically connected people and the donor class that really just stick together, and it has nothing to do with policy or doing the right thing for the American people. It's just how much money do you have? That's all that matters, and it's not all that matters. We made it into the runoff after last week's election, which was March 6th. There was 9 candidates in my primary, and on election day, I came out far and away first place. We beat out overall in the election. I was second place, but we beat out.
So. Just to, again, explain that a little bit, for people that aren't paying attention to the election, you were in the fight. You're going against 9 other candidates. Going into the election, obviously there's some people that vote early through mail voting, and they just vote early, and you were behind there. But then as your campaign picked up and people started to actually see who you are, when people came to vote on election day, you won election day, but you didn't win all the votes combined because of people that had voted early and whatnot.
Right, and
Got
that's
it.
Correct. And
but it shows the trajectory and the momentum of what you're doing.
Right. We've got some great momentum that we're excited about, and to even paint a broader picture. You know, we started this late November, and the election was March 6th. That's a very little time for anybody to get a campaign together. So, and we're going up against. One of my opponents probably will have ended up spending, when the numbers come in, between $6 and $7 million, which is a record for self-funding for a campaign like this. Another opponent, you know, similar, very high spending, very much self-funded, and was already a state representative, so had some kind of campaign machine in place. You're trying to catch up. You're trying to build a campaign team and a message within almost no time at all, and no money whatsoever. That's not an easy task in only a couple of months. Usually you start like a year out if you're going to run for Congress. Right. But that just wasn't the case here, because Ted Poe announced retirement about mid-November. So we had a lot to overcome. We built that momentum quickly. We just worked hard, got the message out, met as many people as we could, and it worked. We snuck out of that third place spot because, as you said, so we were behind during early voting and mail-in voting because that stuff happened so early. There was just no way for my momentum to catch up in time. But by election day, we were far and away first place, and were able to sneak into the runoff. So now we're in the runoff, and that's May 22nd. So we got another 2 months to really prepare and get our message out there. And I think we're excited about it, and I think it's going to go well.